You're going to hear from your father as well this week. We need you to come home. Don't take no more drugs. I know I'm repeating myself, but I need you to understand and hear me, Tori. Please do not take nothing else from this woman.
There you got it. Shit's crazy.
So until we meet, babe, I'm letting you know I'm on my
She
way.
live. She on his panel.
I love you. Until I get to you, please know that I love you. And I'm
She's
coming.
live right
Okay?
now on King Room.
I'll see you soon. Get ready, Shelly. You can delete all this shit that you want. I've kept every fucking thing that I've seen on you, Shelly Carter. But you deleting this shit? You worried? You scared now? You better get fucking worried. You deleting this shit, Shelly Carter? You trying to delete all of your wrong? Please know that the type of attorney that I plan on hiring, I'm pretty sure you could delete it on your fucking end, but you can't delete it on the social media end.
Hello? Because we keep track of everything. We keep receipts. Hello?
You are a fucking predator. And I'm going to make sure that I get you to where you need to be. You should not be entitled to have freedom to be around nobody's kids. You stood your ass there while that damn police officer put his hand on his gun to my child. Not that this is okay, but okay. I got you. I got you, Shelly Carter. I'm coming. I'm coming, bitch. I promise you. And you're going to pay for every fucking thing you did. Everything. You got my baby sitting in a motherfucking van, loading her up with drugs, making her feel like she need to speak all this twisted, dysfunctional, disturbing bullshit in the dark, sitting in a goddamn van on social media every day, all day. That's not where you're supposed to be, Tori. You are supposed to be out on a job and college classes, living your life, whether you chose to have a boyfriend or a husband or kids, friends and family. You are not supposed to be in a fucking van with this bitch, this predator. I'm tired of being worried about you. And I'm tired of being frustrated. I need you to come home. You got your twin sisters that miss you. Your sisters miss you. You need.
She just want her baby back. That's all. She just want her baby back.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's definitely gonna be okay. Don't even worry about it.
Oh God.
She just want her baby back. So this is for anybody wondering, this is Larhonda is Allie Carter's mom. So for any of y'all who don't know who Allie Carter is, let me turn my camera back on. For any of y'all who don't know who Allie Carter is, Allie Carter was an alleged human trafficking victim, and she made all these conspiracy theories about how they traffic children and all of these things and all that jazz, right? All you have to go is go to TikTok and you'll see all the shit that talks about I think I discovered him a couple years ago. Discovered her a couple years ago, and she was telling all these stories about how it's in blind sight, how they're kidnapping these kids and they're trafficking them through tunnels. She claims to be a human trafficking victim, but it all may just be this woman that has her basically probably under some type of conservatorism or whatever, what they call it, it's conservatorship or whatever. Or it could be that lady's giving her drugs that's like psycho reactive drugs or whatever that's making her say this shit. Right. And so that was her mom. And her mom was pleading for her to come home, basically. Her mom is begging her to come home and saying that basically the lady is white and the lady, doesn't mean her any good. She's also saying that the lady, kidnapped her daughter. That the lady is the kidnapper. That's what the mama's saying.
You sick. And that's just messed up. I really feel for you. I do. I know you hurt. I know you hurt. Like I will continue to pray for you. I'm sorry. Like you got to come home to your mom. You can't want to live that kind of life.
Peace, panel. Peace.
It's been damn near.
My name is Kulu. I've been watching.
They said 24 years. Shelly has had Allie for 24 years. 24 fucking years is crazy. 24 years that lady Shelly has had Allie. Allie is so brainwashed by Shelly. So apparently you smelly Shelly, you going to prison in that part. This lady child is a child trafficking victim. Shelly has been brainwashing Allie for years. Shelly, the Most High, is going to get you. I believe something happened that Tori took a part of, and that is too deep. They have a blood pact. Wow. Because everybody wanted to know where her mama at, where her mama at, where her mama at. Because clearly this white bitch ain't her mama. So where's her real birth mother at? And she to show her face and reveal. I just showed y'all what she looked like. She's live right now on King World. King World's channel is KING space WURLD. Right now he has 800 people watching his shit. I didn't know who King World was before this. I randomly came across a YouTube that said Allie Carter, and I was like, oh shit. Let me go, or whatever. And so yeah, this is what's going on right now.
Like you've done too much damage, Shelly, and we all know what you're trying to do. Is you trying to keep up your, your life, your bread by using her for these social media lives, and it's not gonna work. And like I said, it's only a matter of time before myself or one of our people spot her, and then from there, like I said, it's over with, Shelly. It's over with.
I came up. Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
Shelly Ray Carter.
I came up because I texted in the chat earlier to King. Mm-hmm. I did live in Moreno Valley from 2000. I moved there 2005. I was moved from Northern Cal to Southern Cal for Kaiser. And it is exactly what you're talking about. I just kind of wanted to tell you, one, you validated my feelings because I didn't go through the same thing you went through, but there was a reason why I left Moreno Valley. Those kids are exactly how you described it. My son went to Landmark. I don't know if that's around, but he did go to Landmark. I was on Caballo.
Yes.
I don't know if you know Caballo. Yeah.
I do. That was just like less than 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. So what was happening over there, I had a bad feeling when I moved over there. And that area is like Inland Empire. Okay, it's the Inland Empire, but it felt bad. We just lost a cousin out in Riverside last year. But I'm just validating you because you validated my feelings, and that didn't get validated until I listened to King's podcast here yesterday. I was directed here from another place that this right here got my heart hurting because it was those kids were exactly like you're explaining. I was very protective of my son. I wouldn't let him talk to anybody once I got that emotion, that feeling. And the moment I let the kids come over to my house to play and everything. He's an only child. So he had the PlayStation and everything. Crazy. Shortly after that, I got robbed, so we left. But what I'm saying to you, and I'm talking to people that is putting you down, because single mothers, people don't understand when you're working and you're trying to do everything for your kids, you're trying to pay the bills, you have no hats and nothing around helping you, your eyes can't be in all these different places.
It's not necessarily that Shelly human trafficked her, but Shelly has been brainwashing her to believe that she was human trafficked, and people are saying that it didn't really happen. That yes, she may have been a child sex trafficking victim, But I'm trying to figure out, there's gaps in this story that's missing. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck, because it's her adopted, I don't know if it's her adoptive parent or whatever, but she's saying that her daughter was kidnapped by this lady. And it is what this lady has been pushing her to say this. So we about to go into that rabbit hole in a second
And
on
even
TikTok.
if there
And
is
I'm about to show
people
y'all some
out in
videos
this
right
area
quick.
that the lady that's a predator on your child, you know, there is so much, so you're outnumbered.
She's had this girl for 24 years though.
That, and your
24
kids
fucking years.
extremely resilient and easily manipulated at teenage years. So people who are putting you down need to shut up because they don't even know what they would have done in your situation.
Exactly. I don't know what the fuck I would have did.
I had one and I was overprotective of him. And that area is something wrong with that area. And I'm not trying to like say, oh, you know, something's the whole Inland Empire, but it is something that is very dark, and people should look into that area, Inland Empire, because when I left, I was depressed the whole time I was there. But I agree with you. I support you. I'm glad Kim opened up this platform for you to speak out. And let's do a rabbit hole then, right quick. People are going against you. They have no clue what you know, they've never put themselves in your shoes. And if they were in your shoes, I doubted if they would have done a better job. So you don't know what people have to go through, and I hate that people are saying anything negative.
That car always fucking going off.
Like, unless you're in it, and you don't know how you're going to control that situation unless you're faced with it. So people as single mothers that's out there working, we're human beings just like everybody. Screaming? What's going on outside, y'all? Hold on. Oh, kids being bad. I feel like that lady across the street might be being a little abusive to her kids, but I'm gonna let it go. Let's finish hearing what this lady got to say.
I'm sure tugged on a whole lot of our heartstrings out here.
This is Mo talking.
It just reminds all of us of the things that we've been through, you know, with our children and our families. You know, like I said earlier, no one can point a finger at you. The one that's without sin, throw the first rock, right? Can't nobody throw shit. Can't nobody throw nothing.
She ain't do shit.
They got all kinds of shit going on in their own homes. And like I said before, this is entertainment to them. And you also have to understand there is a narrative that there is an agenda that these people are trying to, you know, put out there. And they've been successful with it for the last, 4 or 5 years. But that time has now come to an end because that 10-hour interview that you all did yesterday is getting closely up to 20,000 views. So
they did a 10-hour interview? God damn. That's a long ass interview.
People that have watched it and then shared the video. The information is getting out there. That is the whole point.
So,
one of the whole points of this situation. Of course,
let's look at this interview. Hold on.
Back, but we have to change the narrative because you never know who's watching. That's something that King World taught me a long time ago. Whenever you're a content creator or a moderator or whatever, when you're connected to a channel, you never know who's watching.
Okay, so it is her adopted mom.
Shout out to everybody up in the building. Like I say, man, this is in fact
this is a video.
Part 2 on this part 2 edition. We're gonna go ahead and get into it, you know, because I had somebody.
So it says, Ali Carter, real mother, the truth about Shelly. Ali Carter lied about being Tupac's daughter. You should do some actual research on the trauma caused by things such as sex trafficking. She obviously suffers from PTSD, DID, etc., which is dissociative personality. I think that's dissociative personality disorder, some shit like that. And she has already told her real name and everything else you are throwing out there with her own receipts. People like you are the biggest problem. The world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing. Albert Einstein, prayers, Ali. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out it's called the Ali Carter Aliathon. And this is part 2 that's going on right now on his channel. But what I'm trying to figure out is, like, what the fuck is going on? We're gonna have to go to TikTok right quick. Hold on. Yeah, we're gonna take a little trip to TikTok so I can figure out what the fuck is going on. Because I have followed this case for some years, but from what I know, Ali was...
Cooking with Tiana. Yeah, I'm not cooking nothing but come make some s'mores s'mores in the air fryer with me. Right, so the first thing you want to do is put
Sienna,
some air
Sienna Redbone. We're not gonna play with you.
fryer liners, and this is what it is.
And then she tagged hashtag cooking with Kaya because she childish. And she's only making s'mores. But anyways, I digress. Cooking with Kaya is wise. All right, so let's send the link. Nigga, you just I'm about to fight people. All right.
Looks like
Let's
you gotta
go
put your
to
marshmallows down.
the Ali Carter shit. Hold on, y'all, because I'm trying to focus my ADHD. Look, I'm undiagnosed, right?
We have some things that we need to do. I just got a call, a few calls, and I'm gonna.
This is One Day Ago by Ali Carter, y'all.
I can, but I need. I don't usually ask, and I'm not. I'm asking for presence. That's what I'm asking for, and I'm asking for presence of those of you who know us, who have talked to us, who have stood with us, who are familiar with us in a way that you have been vetted already from coming to an
asking
event.
for presence now.
If you went to the A to Z or Survivors Unchained, if you were on your way for that, if you went through that vetting process,
you better not be eating s'mores for supper, or we about to fight. Amanda.
We didn't just let people in. We actually had a vetting process.
But if y'all got gifts, I'm just saying, does YouTube even allow gifts? Like the fuck? Anyways, I don't know. But subscribe, shit. Or send cash apps. My cash app is Mermaid Serenade. But just to pause this in this whole story, basically she's claiming that there are children that are being trafficked or whatever. These imaginary children that's being trafficked. Now, you could tell from her teeth, yes, she is on drugs. I'm sorry. I could tell from her teeth. Her teeth are not in the best. There's no way she's getting dental care. I'll just leave it at that. Now, as somebody who has not had dental care in probably 2 or 3 years, right? I can tell from even my teeth wasn't looking this bad. And it's not just that her teeth are crooked, because I'm not worried about the crookedness of her teeth. I'm talking about the health of just visually looking at her teeth. I could tell that she ain't, yeah, baby, she on something. The pupils being big.
Hello?
Hold on, let me turn this around.
Someone said redirect any and every conversation back to the children. Girl, thank you. I've been trying. People want me to talk about drama. People want me to give them another name. I can give you names. Look in your local neighborhood right now and see what child is missing. There's the name that you need. What is stopping you from talking about the children? Hello? Hello?
I mean, real lobster biscuits with hamburgers, sour cream, garlic powder, by the way.
The
This is
children.
Jamaican.
What's your New Year's resolution? The children. What should be happening? A New Year's revolution.
What
the
is
children.
sour cream and garlic powder? Why are you putting sour cream in burgers? Because that is crazy.
What are you gonna do for the next 365 days different than what you did before? What's new? Talk about the children. There's gonna be these explosions that lead to fire that burns.
Now, we thought Ali Carter was missing. So
recently, Ali Carter's biological mother came out and did an interview on YouTube claiming that Ali Carter's so-called stepmother is not the person that we think that she is, and allegedly is a handler for Ali Carter. I'm gonna upload a clip from the interview. Let me know what y'all think about this.
This is Miss Outlaw. I'm Tori Outlaw's mother. I'm kind of blown away. I'm been watching this on my daughter for a while now. I'm not Shelly. I'm Miss Outlaw. I'm her mother.
So can I ask you, how long has it been since you seen or been around your daughter?
Tori was a problem teenager. She wanted to do things her way.
It's her mama's eye.
When she reached a certain age. And I haven't seen Tori since 16.
Oh my God.
Tori off at school. Tori would go into to school and horrifically lie on me like she's doing. CPS would visit my home. She lied so bad where they came and took 4 of my children away from me for 6 days. I was a strict parent. She wasn't allowed to hang out in the streets, and she wanted to mingle with the wrong type of kids that were in foster homes, which were my neighbors too. And she just became out of control. The behavior, I can't even tell you where it came from. Could have possibly came from her going to school with a lot of foster care kids. Shelly Carter was visiting the foster home that was next door to me. And I believe that's how Tori connected with her.
Recently, Allie Carter's biological...
Okay, so she's saying there was a foster care home that was right beside her, and that Shelly Carter was visiting that foster care home and took an interest in her daughter, and that's how she ended up possibly. It's more than a little scary because people do shit like this.
If we're standing outside, these freak off parties, they're not freak off parties. There's a lot that happens. There's life-size wheels that people attach children to and spin it and decide who's having in what way. There are so many things. There's body cakes. There's party favors. And I'm talking like, you know how you put up a little birthday bag? Like when you go to a birthday party, and before you can leave, you can take one of those little birthday bags off the table. And then there's toys and like all this stuff for coming to the party. Yeah, instead of that, there's children. They call them party favors. How do you think the kids are doing? You hear the adults saying that they were on liquid IVs after the parties. You hear how many toys they pulled out of his house. I told y'all how many times that the Playboy is connected to houses. The tunnels connect to homes that connect to really big places, especially the Playboy. A lot of you guys are starting to hear that now. These freak off parties, they're not freak off
parties. She talked about tunnels and stuff, and I'm going to go back to the original post that made her go viral.
Spirit, she just announced that her 5-year-old altar is up and she's going to kindergarten. That wasn't a lie. Her 5-year-old altar is up. And she probably took the phone from the caretaker, all in the same body. And she just told y'all, I'm 5. I'm not 43. I'm 5. She wasn't lying to you. You just don't know what she's saying.
Okay, anyways. Let me try to find the original. I'm going to turn the volume down so I can find the original.
Sometimes
the original...
You know the Diddy by less than 2 weeks because of my last name and because of the elite ties that I have. They took me out of the missing net.
Okay, this is the original. Let me see. Okay, this is part 1, talking about her biological mother. Okay, she's talking about her biological mother in this one.
My bio mother is a piece of the devil. That woman, I would probably wear white to her funeral. Here, listen, this is my real mother, right?
Saying a white lady's her real mama.
She's a white woman, and we're twins. Okay, we look just alike so much that you wouldn't even know she was my mom. You know what? I can see it. There's a whole resemblance when you walk in the room. All right. Now, here's the thing. My surrogate was a piece of evil shit. I really would wear white to her funeral. That is not a woman that you would call a mother. I don't even know what you would call that. But her, with the passion, some people, you got to forgive. No, wait a minute. That's a whole other conversation for another day. But that woman is so evil. And I mean so evil. Not just for me. I was one of 6 kids of hers. You see, of hers. Of the borrowed fortune, of the paid off fortune, of the you take this child and hold on to this one and I'll pay you for that one. But she used to tell me all the time, I don't get enough money for you, for me. Out of the 6 girls, she got so much money. She got government assistance. She played the government. said some of them had disabilities that they didn't have. She was on all kind of money. She was stealing Social Security card. My bio mother is a piece of the devil.
Okay. Let's go to part 2.
All kind of shit, right? And for me personally, I wouldn't go along with when she would take me to these government buildings to play or to do whatever she was doing. I wouldn't play along with it. I don't know why. I just wouldn't do it. So therefore, she got money for me by letting her boyfriends and shit abuse me, and not to mention all the other shit that goes on in that bloodline. But my bloodline helps you match some shit together. So stay with me because I'm about to jump. Here we go. All right? So my bloodline answers some questions, but it doesn't matter to me. You want to know why it doesn't matter to me? Because this is the only woman that has ever gave a shit as far as where I'm sitting today. Before that, no one cared. No one in the entire family cared. The family's huge. They did not care unless there was something in it for them. Okay? So I was raped a lot in my own closet by the chief of police. I was abused a lot in my own bed. I would move my little sisters over because there were sisters that I had that were smaller than me. And she was dating everybody. She slept with everything that walked. Okay? She had men in her life like buses. But all of them were a piece of my authority, from my doctors to my principals to everything, okay? So I was abused a lot in a different way. Everybody was going through something in that house, but I was abused in a different way, okay? Everybody blamed it on me because by the time I turned 13, I started to realize something's wrong. I talked to friends. I talked to people at school. This shit is not normal. All kind of shit, right?
Wow. Okay, this is her side of the story now. This is crazy.
She used to tell me all the time, I don't get enough money for you, which is why supposedly she did what she did, and why she let people do what she did. Supposedly she was always in the bathtub when I was getting raped by her boyfriends. But then when I was little, she would lay me over her leg and check me, and I don't know what she was checking for, but she would let her boyfriends do whatever they wanted to me, and then she would come and check me like that was supposed to do something, okay? So when I say that my life has been this way for a very, very long time, my last order, sexual order, that was called, that I was on, was 18. She used to tell me all the time, I don't get enough money for you, which is why supposedly she
That's crazy. So she's saying her mom was pimping her out, is what she's saying, which is crazy. Truck driver opens up about deliveries of party favors to Diddy's mansion. Let's hear this.
Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the trailer. I heard the banging, the cries, the desperate pleas muffled by thick walls and rules.
That could be fucking AI. We ain't got time for that. And so apparently she has a website now, Allie'sArmy.com. Let's go back to the original. Missing Child's Network system. We're gonna go back to where it all started, which was this video. This video right here.
But CPS still collect. We have always.
And it was so, y'all, it was so believable. I'm telling y'all, it was so believable that I believed Allie's story when she talked about all this shit. Now let's go back to the very beginning. Okay, yeah. So she said she was trafficked and sold to Russia. Now I'm about to show this. It's 4 videos total, but I'm gonna show you. Search up Diddy basement. I'm not searching up no Diddy basement. If you want to do that, we focus on the alley.
You have that ranking with your pimp, then
this is what
you can kind of pick what job.
This is where the video. This is what she originally went viral from.
Kind of the least painful sex machine to have to be on for hours. So with my pimp, I started learning that if I was nice to him, if I didn't fight as hard, if I gave up with the fighting, and if I just did what he said, then I would become bottom, which means top. He
bottom bitch is what you meant.
When we were 15 years old. And his promise, with me being his wife, I was running around in very expensive diamond rings. When he proposed to me, the promise was that if I said yes, and if I did what he said, then I would stay with him. And he, there was other girls that I saw with him. There were other girls that I shared him with. That sounds so ass backwards, but when you say it like that. But
I mean, that's what you was doing. He a pimp.
That was backwards to say, but it is what it is.
See that glitch she just had? I don't know. That was a glitch.
We had this deal, and this deal was that he wouldn't, the other girls and the other boys that he had, he wouldn't just leave me. He wouldn't sell me out of country and leave me there. He made that promise, and of course, there's no promises that he kept. They were all empty and broken, and lies. So when I had to go to this auction, and this man from Russia purchased me, I thought, okay, we'll just come right back. And the first time he said, you'll leave with him, he wants to have what's called a girlfriend experience. So if you find that ranking, or if you have
part 1, part 2,
what's called a girlfriend experience, where they're able to take you home and they're able to keep you for the weekend, and have you wake up next to them, is the girlfriend experience. And when I went with this man for a weekend, it was culture shock. It was, the smells were different, the buildings were different, everybody talked different. I didn't understand anybody. So some men like to have sex with you with their feet, put you on leashes, make you lick the floor or lick their feet, piss on you, shit on you, things like that. When I figured that out, I was like, I was praying, please God, let me get back to California. And I promise I will be a freaking angel for this man, because I don't want to end up staying here. When we came back, my pimp told me I was going back out there before a week. The money that was exchanged is when I knew it was time to make a decision, because I knew I wasn't coming back. And I knew that he promised that he would bring me back, but there was money counters that came out. There was a huge meeting that he had to have. There was paperwork. And that's when I realized I have to do something, because they're going to kill me. What's called a girlfriend experience.
Now, did you see her teeth wasn't actually this bad? Like, and just by the way, if you're looking at this, her teeth was not that bad in this video.
I got out of school. I was told to go to the park in Fontana.
Hold on. I think we missed something. Hold on. What's
called a girlfriend experience, where they're...
Okay, no, we already saw that one. They posted it to us.
I got out of school. I was told to go to the park in Fontana and sit on the swings. I had bright red hair, and this is what saved my life, because I was about to get branded. I was about to change my complete look to go to Russia, because that's what my pimp was telling me to do. So I braided my hair, and I changed it. It was blood fire engine red, and it was so bright that it was so noticeable anywhere I went. And I had brushed it out, so it's frizzy and crazy. And I went and sat on the swings, and I called my mom and my grandma at the time, and I told her, I love you. I don't know if I'll talk to you again, but I'm about to leave. And she's like, where? And when my grandma heard that in my voice, she rushed to the park. She saw me sitting on the swings. She's like, get home now. She called my mom. My mom called the foster home. She called the police. She called the social worker. And thank God they did, because it stopped the Russia order. It stopped my pickup. I was sitting on the swings getting ready to leave to go to Russia. And it stopped everything. That night, after telling my mom the complete truth and knowing that I wasn't about to come back, I made a choice to run and to disappear, because there was no way. CPS wasn't listening. My social workers knew and was in on it. They would tell me to stop telling people. People were making fake court orders for my mom. That was the time where I was like, it's either life or death right here. And the next time that I have to try to make this decision, I'm probably going to be somewhere where I can't get out. So I ran. I disappeared from Child Protective Services government custody for a year straight. I got out of school.
Now, she said she disappeared for a year straight, remember. All right? So, this is when her mom saying, remember her mom said she was rebelling and all that shit, right? Her mom had said, we saw earlier, her mom was saying, oh, she was a rebellious child. She would do whatever she wanted to do. She wouldn't listen. So she said her daughter will lie. Her daughter will lie to the point where her mom said 4 of her kids were removed from the home because her daughter just didn't like being there. Well, really, the acting out was happening. If this girl was being raped by your boyfriends, yes, ma'am, she's going to be acting out. Now, I don't know if she was raped by, her mama said she'd be lying. I don't know if she was lying, but her mom also has admitted that she has mental health issues. So I don't know what to believe.
By less than a few weeks, I don't know. Because of my last name and because of the elite ties that I have, they took me out of the missing child's network system, and removed me from any Amber Alerts or any type of system to tell anybody that I was missing. But CPS still collected money for me. There were fake FBI that were sent out to torment my mom, to mess with people that I knew of that my pimp seen me with, because he knew who I was hanging around. He knew what I was doing at school. He knew all those things. But I had to be safe, and I can't say exactly how I disappeared. It would incriminate a few really, really, really good people, because they had to do what they had to do to make sure that I'm still sitting here right now. If I didn't leave that park that day, I'd probably still be stuck in somebody's tunnel or dead. So that was Russia. By less than a few weeks, because of my last name and because of the elite.
Now, these are the 4 videos that initially made her go viral. This was like years ago. Years ago she talked about this, right? So
I'm not gonna win this fight. I've had 5 or 6 dudes, big ass dudes, on me, holding me down, and I was still bucking some of them off. Because my pimp, I talked back to my John, my order. Not my pimp, my John. I was on order with somebody, and he was supposed to be able to do whatever he wanted to do. I wasn't having it one day. I just couldn't deal with it. After that, I was on my period. I'll never forget that. I was starting my period, and I was like, I can't do this. He wanted to taste my blood clots. You want me to make you sick? He wanted to taste my blood clots. He was telling me to push so that way he can taste my blood clots, because he liked the way that it felt.
This is crazy.
I started fighting right away. I couldn't condemn. I was like this, I can't. And the man was trying to put the blood clots on his dick.
Bruh.
Okay.
What the hell?
So that one day, I lost my I really lost my because he was trying to hold me down and he wouldn't stop. And I was trying to like figure out a way to deal with it. I couldn't do it. So I fought him. Really bad. There was a lot of blood, but it wasn't mine. So my pimp came, and him and about 4 of his friends that were there for other girls, they held me down and stabbed me with a needle. Told me if I wasn't going to give blood, they'd make blood. But they were stabbing me somewhere else. A lot of my pimps called me illiterate. They told me that I would never be anything and I wouldn't be worth anything but a hole and maybe somebody to make babies, but I couldn't even do that. Look at your girl. Look at your girl. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm not going to win this fight. I've had.
So, here's my thing. Alright. Here's my take on this. If she is telling the truth, that is utterly disgusting. Now, that video I have never seen. Her most recent videos I have not seen because, mind y'all, I haven't heard about this girl for 2 or 3 years now. Actually, we'll say 3 or 4 years now. I found out about her a couple years ago. I was like, oh shit. Like, I wonder, you know, just going down the TikTok road that you should never go down. And she was telling all these stories of tunnels and how in plain sight they be kidnapping kids and shit. Um, and yeah, uh, she's done interviews and um talked about how she was trafficked by presidents, and then it was just like, ISIS. Not saying that this don't happen. I'm just like, ISIS, you doing the most. Alright. You know, this girl, man, I'm like, this girl a little loony. Like, she's off. But just because somebody has mental health issues doesn't necessarily mean that they are lying. And that's something we have to stop doing, is thinking just because somebody has mental health issues that they are lying about what happened to them. Do I believe she went through some of this shit? Yes, because she's too fucking detailed. You know how you ever heard, like, this person is too detailed to be lying? She's one of those people. It's that the whole blood clot thing. God damn. This is disgusting. Now, let's see. Ashley Parham, which is the girl who here she was raped by Diddy. Stacked like cargo with innocent kids. Okay. Let's do this video.
One time he locked me in containers with his shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies. There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move. I was freaked out. And I got up and I held her. And they opened the truck and they took her from me. Because they said she was already sick. And they killed her. Her name was Bailey.
So someone else is doing this live too. The live that the other girl's doing is different. The live that she's doing is covering the King World. That's why I left King World's channel, because it's like, I'm not about to keep covering this nigga shit. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. The King World situation is what's going on right now, where the mom is talking, and that's the big hoopla. But if you haven't watched part 1, you don't know what the fuck the mom is talking about, so it kind of defeats the purpose. There was no recap when the live started. It was usually, you know, people do a recap if they're doing like a series or something. Usually they'll say, okay, part 1 we talked to, you know, but he didn't even introduce her. He just literally went live and boom, she was just talking. They was like, oh, this is Ali Carter's mom, and boom, she just started talking. I'm like, well, what the fuck is she talking about? Because, you know, I hadn't watched it. I didn't watch part 1. I didn't even know what the fuck King World was. So yeah, the live that the other lady is doing is more of a, it's not a deep dive, but it is, I'm doing a deep dive right now. Where basically I'm going through her videos to piece shit together to see, not necessarily if she's lying, but just so y'all can see who this person is, because most of y'all didn't know who the fuck she was anyway. But yeah, so shit is crazy. Then we got the videos which talks about her biological mom.
And I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy for anybody who comes across the table or who wants to party at a certain time of night when the music stops and then the DJ starts flashing all these lights and they close the doors, and then everybody turns into like a frenzy and starts going into a crazed animal-like demonic state, and you have no idea what's going on. And yes, there was a time where I was just like completely don't give a shit because it happened, and I was the type of kid that thought that, you know, you're in the presence of royalty and they make it seem like you're in the presence of Hollywood, so you should be honored and you should be appreciating that you're there. And I was that person. I totally acted like that. I was like, oh, it's fine. And I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means
so she's saying, she said, I was a party favor at Diddy's parties when I was a kid. That's what she said.
Anybody who comes.
All right, now, no shade, but ma'am, you said that party favors were what people took with them home before. That's what she said before. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know. I don't know. This is a lot. This is a lot.
When Allie was put in foster care, I was advocating for her, and I was reporting back, and I was writing reports and turning in reports to CPS based on the abuse that she was telling me that she was experiencing while in foster care. At first, they embraced me, and they were allowing me to have visitation with her. When I started making too many waves, they turned everything back on me. They filed a court order that said I was a predator to Allie, and they were telling me I was not allowed to have contact with her because they were trying to silence things, and they were using that as a means to scare me. CPS was in charge of Allie at that time. She was their responsibility. If they filed a court order that I was a predator or was harming her, they should have pressed charges, and they should have followed up on that, and they never did. Shortly after that, Allie went missing from CPS care. She was AWOL for over a year. After that year was up, they placed her with me. They said I was a good home and a good fit for her, and they allowed her to be placed in my home. Those are two opposite things in a very short time, but they do that to a lot of parents. That's a tactic they use to silence people, to keep control of the situation, to get people to look the other way. CPS is very corrupt, and it needs to be defunded. It's very evil what they do. They can remove children from any of your homes for any reason. It's irrelevant whether you're a good parent or a bad parent. If CPS wants to traffic your kid, they can come in and take your kid, and you really won't have a leg to stand on. When Allie was put in foster care, I was advocating for her.
Because the video just restarted, but yeah. That's where we're going to start with this, y'all. That's just a little mini deep dive into, or I guess you could say a mini dive into Allie Carter and who she is and what she's going through and her mom was. It's a lot going on. And all we can do is pray for the family and hope that they find the best and hope that Allie finds her way home, because I don't know what to believe. This shit is all over the place. I'm not even going to
lie. Because of my last name.
One time he locked me in containers with his shit.
Through her own experiences, allegedly has it that Diddy owns underground tunnels leading to the Playboy Mansion, where she was moved through. Here is the blueprint of the Playboy Mansion that they made showing the underground tunnels. It actually led to celebrities' houses. Allie Carter has just made an affidavit of truth that she turned over to the feds against Diddy and other celebrities about how she was allegedly abused. Here's Diddy's name here and others such as Birdman, Denzel Washington, and Young Jock. Allie Carter says she was one of the party favors. She speaks about how she was a party favor and how other children were there as party favors as well, and how they were set on a table and had to wait for people to come and choose them. She explains how these parties turned into a whole frenzy once the DJ started music and turned on the flashing lights. And then she explains how there was things at this party called body cakes, that they would bring in animals like donkeys and burros. Allie Carter also told us that she had physical evidence against Diddy and some of these other celebrities, and she took a picture of this, also showing proof that she turned in physical evidence. Allie Carter has spoke out so much throughout the years. Allie Carter, through her own experiences, allegedly
that's AI, but that tells you just what we're dealing with here. I don't know. This is all alleged. I'm not liable. Have a nice day.